He's omniscient. He's all what? Knowing, and he knew what was going to happen in the future. And this is what he says that was going to happen in the future, and this is why he grieved him. Jesus prophesied right here in this passage that the fulfillment was point by point during the time of this first Jewish-Roman war in Israel's destruction. When? In AD 70. Just listen to the words of Jesus, and then also listen to actually what happened in history. Ready? Jesus, coming down to the city, cries. Why? Because he gets a vision. He knows what's going to happen in the future. And this is what's going to happen in the future. This is what he says. Luke 19. For the days will come upon you when your, what's the next word? Enemies will set up a what? Barricade. Where? Around you and surround you and what? Hem you in from every side and tear you down to the ground. This is history. Titus besieged Jerusalem when? AD 70. His armies literally surrounded the city with a siege wall. And Josephus, the historian that was there, or knew this, he knew the details that Titus's legion encircled the city, restricting the food supplies and the water supplies coming in. This prophecy was fulfilled just as Jesus says, when Titus surrounded Jerusalem and allowed no one to leave or get water. Ladies and gentlemen, he walked into the city not only probably grieving because of the cross, but he grieved because he knew what was going to happen in the next 30, 40 years after he left. Does that not only show the love that Jesus has for people, but also shows that his power of pre-knowing? It continues in verse 44, and tear you down to the ground, you and your children within you. Josephus recounted this. When they breached the walls, the Romans ravished the Jerusalem with violence against the inhabitants. After nearly starving the people to death, the Jews opened the gates and allowed the Romans to come in, and they sacked the city, burned the temple, and killed over 1 million Jews. If you knew that that was happening, if God just gave you a vision and you can see what was going to happen in the future, would that cause you to grieve and be like, oh no, right? Yeah. But also in verse 44, and they will not leave one stone upon another. History says that after the building was burned, the soldiers pried apart all the stones, especially the stones of the temple, like Jesus said it was going to be, but he's referring more to him, to retrieve these precious metals of gold, and only the foundations remained. And we can see that to this day. Archaeologists even confirm that. Ladies and gentlemen, why do I mention this historical moment? Because Jesus is all what? Knowing. He proclaimed what was going to happen, and it brought him tears.